Today we're going to be talking about Castor Maritime stock and whether or not it can head back to $1. Let's get into the video. Hi everyone, my name is Zach and welcome back to Finance Bro. Before we get started with the video, I'd like to ask you guys to please leave a comment of your favorite stock of the moment, why it's your favorite stock of the moment, and to also leave a like and subscribe as it really helps with the YouTube algorithm. And if you want 2 free stocks that could be worth up to $1,850, then go ahead and click the first link in the description and get all signed up with WeBull. Without any further ado, let's get into today's stock, ticker symbol CTRM or Castor Maritime. So Castor Maritime is actually a stock that we made a video on about 2 months ago at this point. We made a video on it when it was at about $1.60, and then the next day it went up to about $2, and then ever since then it's actually sold off about 75% of its value, and it's sitting at about 50 cents today. The catalyst that I talked about in this video was them buying a new vessel, and since then it seems like they buy a new vessel every week. Obviously that's a bit of an exaggeration, but I see them buying new vessels. Literally, they probably bought 3 or 4 new vessels since this video 2 months ago. And that leads us into our first article for today from investorplace.com. The title is CTRM stock, the news giving ship company Castor Maritime a bump today. We'll go into this in the technical analysis, but the bump was only really in pre-market and it's been selling off today as well. So Castor Maritime is a weird stock, but we're going to get into my thoughts on where it can go at the end. So the article starts off by saying that Castor Maritime stock got a boost on Friday after announcing the acquisition of a new shipping vessel. And it seems anytime that they get a new shipping vessel, it goes up in that morning and then it just sells off and it continues to sell off throughout the week after. So conspiracy theory time, Castor Maritime is only buying these ships to get a bump in their stock price. No, I'm kidding, that's a joke. So Petros, and I'm not even going to attempt to say his last name because I'll butcher it, CEO of Castor Maritime, said that this about the deal bumping CTRM stock up today. We are pleased to announce our 9th vessel acquisition in 2021 with the addition of another Panamax dry bulk vessel to Castor's fleet. Our focus remains on deploying our capital and growing our fleet through timely acquisitions of vessels across shipping segments. So that second sentence there is what I really want to focus on. They say that their focus remains on deploying our capital. So they want to be spending the assets that they have to get more vessels, to get more revenue and profit in the future. It then talks about the volume that it's seen. CTRM stock has seen a decent amount of trading today following news of the vessel acquisition. As of this writing, more than 98 million shares of the company's stock have been changing hands. For some additional perspective, the stock's daily trading average volume is about 192 million shares. So obviously, Castor Maritime is a stock that is traded a lot. It's pretty popular among investors for trading, not really investing though. People like to get in this stock and get out. And now to go over their balance sheets. So at a quick glance, I do like what I'm seeing, but once I, break down the current assets and non-current assets, if you guys don't know, I like to see more current assets than non-current assets, especially with a company that is purchasing a lot of vessels such as Castor Maritime, because they need to have that cash on hand so they're not going into tons of debt to get these vessels. Obviously, from 2018 to 2019, they gained about $15 million in debt, and they have increased that to $18 million in debt, which is not too big of a problem. But the only problem that I see is that they have more total debt than current assets at the moment. So if they were forced to liquidate, they would have some trouble. And they have about 60 million in non-current assets. So that's going to include like their vessels and, all long-term stuff. So if you guys didn't know, current assets is what, it's like basically cash on hand. They could liquidate these assets within the year. Any non-current assets are not expected or cannot be liquidated within the year. So that also goes for current liabilities and total non-current liabilities. So I like to see that they only have 10 million in current liabilities because they can just pay that off with their current assets easily. Their total debt is sitting at 18 million, so that's the only problem I see with their balance sheet. But these new vessels will eventually start to get them a lot more revenue and get those current assets up. But it's basically just a waiting game. I would have liked to see more current assets and total non-current assets. And now for some technical analysis. So obviously, this is when we started talking about Castor Maritime on the channel. We've only talked about Castor Maritime one time on the channel, but it reached all the way up to about $2, and then ever since then it's been on a major sell-off. I haven't been in this stock for so long. I got out, I got my profit, but we're reaching a level where I'm gonna start thinking about maybe getting back into this stock, or maybe just day trading it or swing trading it. But yeah, so this is obviously the 1 hour chart. I'll explain real quick. So basically they'll get like, oh, new vessel, and then you'll see these green candlesticks, and then it'll just sell off throughout the week. And then we see here, oh, another new vessel. Oh, okay, and then we're gonna sell off again. Another new vessel, sell off again. And then this morning, obviously, we have a new vessel, and we're just selling off again. I like how we're staying above the 50-cent level right now, because we were at about 45 cents. But this is getting into a level where I'm going to only have a small position with Castor Maritime, because I don't like trading stocks under $1 like whatsoever, because they can just go by the wayside real quick. And if we look on the 1 hour chart, we've already broken this previous support of about 60 cents. So we could be returning to, sadly, around the 40-cent support area. So we could still see about a 20% decline in this stock to about 40 cents, but I think Castor Maritime will be able to hold that support with the 9 new vessels that they have recently acquired. But we'll have to see if it's going to stay above this 45-cent level. If it breaks that, I expect Castor Maritime to go back to 40 cents, and then after that, we'll start its incline back up. Now, as for my overall thoughts, I do think that Castor Maritime can go back to $1 or even $2, but they are going to need to post some sick revenue and get rid of some of that debt before investors are going to feel like comfortable investing more money into Castor Maritime stock. Because right now the balance sheet obviously doesn't look too hot, if we're going to be honest, and they just need to get their revenue and profit margins up. But that will happen. You just have to give Castor Maritime time. But I'm looking for Castor Maritime to go back to 40 cents before it starts its incline back up to about $1. And I'd say that's possible within 6 to 12 months-ish. But that's going to be it for today's video. If you did enjoy, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Remember, you guys can join our channel memberships down below. We're going to be starting live streaming as soon as I get my new PC built, and I can, have a very good flow of my workstation here and be able to run everything smoothly. So channel memberships will be very beneficial as soon as I get that started, which will be within the week, I believe. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching the video. Subscribe, like, comment, and I'll see you in the next video.